always say your prayers. Why you keep stealing my shit? Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel everybody. I am back, the Sauce Queen is back. I know it's been like, I don't know, 2.5 months since I uploaded. Oh my god. Well, I will get to that. Yeah, it's been one hell of a ride for me. But anyways, here is my loaded nachos, you guys. Hold on one second. So how y'all doing? How is everybody? Oh my god, I'm gonna pray and dig into this because I got a juicy story time as well. Okay, thank you, Father, for this food. Bless this food and sanctify it by your word. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. And always say your prayers. And this is like dripping everywhere. It's on the sides, dripping everywhere. How are you guys? Oh my god. Okay, so I did a poll and loaded chili cheese nachos is the winner. You guys probably can't even see me behind all this. But look, I can turn it and it's like dripping, and let's get it that side. Looks better for you. My glasses are falling. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm so ready for this. All right. I missed you guys so bad. Okay, I'm gonna just start eating here. It's kind of hard to take it from back here because you can't see. This has it has shredded cheese, and then queso, which is Velveeta, and Rotel tomatoes is what I use. It's so good. And then tomatoes, onion, lettuce, guacamole, sour cream. Lettuce. I also have, it's called just peachy. This peach tea is really good. And the coldest water bottle, you guys. Go in my description and get one and do it now. It's still steaming. Make it. Jesus. I already got all over my shirt. Look at that. Right on my boob. It's probably gonna stain too. I don't know. I can't even find chips under here. It's so much. Here we go. You see that steam? Now this is loaded nachos. I don't want to get the front because then it's not going to look pretty. So I'm just going to keep getting from the back. There we go. There's no sour cream on that. This heaven, I'm in heaven. Very messy. Oh, sorry I didn't warn you. Very messy. It's going to be a very messy mukbang, and it's going to be a very talkative mukbang because I have a story time, you guys. I have been gone for 2.5 months because I have been dealing with mental disorder issues really bad. And so I wasn't able to film. I wasn't able to do anything really, but that's for another video. I'll do a life update video for you guys. Look at that. Dang it. So, I posted in my community tab that I needed a break off from YouTube because my mental health was not good. And I was going through a lot and having panic attacks, anxiety, really, really bad. So I had to just stay off YouTube. So I finally went to the doctor and I got on medication that I desperately needed. Yeah, it's been really difficult. And anybody who has mental health issues or knows somebody that does, you know how serious it is. So and if you don't get taken care of, it can get really bad. You don't even know the mess I'm gonna have to clean up. So anyways, I had to get back on some medication, and the medication is helping me tremendously. I can't even tell you how. Thank you, Jesus. So yes. So yesterday I told my husband, I was like, well, I told everybody to vote, and they wanted chili cheese nachos. I said, can you make your chili, please? And he's like, of course they do, because my chili's best. So he's like, yes, I will make it for you. So we went yesterday to the store and he got all this stuff, and then he cooked it, and then in a crock pot for a while, and then today I'm filming. I was gonna do old school style. I talked to my friend, my really good friend that I talk to a lot. Her name is Jamie. She's also a viewer of mine. What's up, girl? I love her so much. She makes me laugh so hard. Anyways, she's like, I text her. I'm like, what am I gonna do? This is before I did the poll in my community tab. I was like, I'm gonna come back on YouTube, but I don't know what to do. Nothing sounds good. Nothing sounds good. Everything sounds good. I couldn't choose what to do. So she's like, why don't you do it old school style? Sit in your living room floor and do homemade enchiladas. I was like, you know what? That sounds so good. And I said, yeah, I haven't sat anywhere to film except for this office in a very long time. So I told her, I said, that's a fabulous idea. Well, I was going to sit in my living room floor, you guys, but my son has friends over and it's like too loud out there and they're like all walking around, so I couldn't. So this is a warning, okay? This is an adult story time that I have. It's not for children, and it's definitely not for my children. So if you're my child, please click off now. You have been warned. Oh, Lord. Anyways, yeah. But I'm going to tell it, because you know why? Because that's just how I roll, okay? This story time takes place in 2011. This was when I got divorced from my ex-husband. And did you hear my stomach? And you guys know that I lost my mind. Like, why is the phone? I'm sorry, I don't even remember what I was saying. Okay, this story time took place back in 2011 after my divorce. And on my behalf, you guys, because this is a very risque story time, but on my behalf, you know, when you have a really bad breakup or a divorce or something like that, it can really, really affect you bad. Which it did. Some people absolutely lose their damn minds, have breakdowns. They, you know, it's horrible. Well, anyways, that's what I went through with my divorce. It hit me really bad, really hard. So I was completely out of my mind, and I was doing things that I would never do today or anything like that. Hell no. But, you know, so you got to give me a little grace and mercy here, okay? You can't eat nachos unless they're messy. So, we were living in Utah at this time, okay? And it was me and my parents and the kids. We were living in Utah. This was before we moved to Texas. So, one night, my uncle, Big Daddy, was over, you know, visiting. He came to Utah to visit us because he was living in California at the time. And he's like, hey, let's get ready and let's get all dressed up and let's go out. And I was like, no, you know, I don't really know this town. We just moved here. I'm not feeling it. So he convinced me. I was like, you know what, you're right. Let's get the hell out of here. So him and I, we got all dressed up, we got ready. And then we were just like cruising the town, you know, we don't know where the hell we're going, what we're doing, you know. We don't know anybody in this town. It was a beautiful town. I don't want to mention where it was, and I'm certainly not going to mention names in the story time. However, but yeah, it was kind of like a small town, but not really. That probably doesn't even make sense. But so we found this one bar as we were driving, and we walk in, and instantly I find a table, and I sit down, and I start ordering drinks, and immediately Big Daddy's like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yeah, right. Every time he walks into a bar or something, he has to scope the place out before he even sits down, and he uses the bathroom thing. But he's really like this, you know. He's like a kid in a candy store. And so I'm like, yeah, whatever. So he went to the bathroom. Then my uncle is so fun to go out with. So fun. I didn't fill my coldest water bottle up. I just sat down and started filming. He is like the funnest to go out with because he is like the biggest social butterfly ever. He'll go from table to, as soon as he walks in somewhere, he won't even know anybody from Adam. And then he'll just walk in. And he'll go from table to table, just like, hey, you know, what's up? Hey, oh, I like your hat, or I like your tattoo or something. Oh my God, what are you drinking? You know, I mean, he's just like, he's so fun. And believe it or not, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I just walk in, sit down, you know, I'll smile at people and stuff, but I don't go out of my way to go talk to people. So I just sat down and I started drinking, and I'm like scoping. Hell yes, I am. I'm scoping the scene out too, looking for some hot dudes and shit. So he comes back over and he sits at the table. And this bar, you guys, was so awesome. It had like 3 levels, and it was a rooftop bar. So it was like really, really good. They had like a live band. It was a really awesome place. Like, I would go back there right now if I could. Yeah, it was one of those happening kind of bars, you know. And the rooftop was gorgeous. Oh my God. And the view, it was just amazing. So after we started drinking a little bit, Big Daddy was like, let's go on the rooftop. I'm like, hell yes. I said, I've already scoped out some cuties in this bar. Shit. I said, I'm taking one of them home. And then he goes, not before I. And I said, I'm taking one of them home. Shit. And he goes, I'm taking someone home too. Shit. It was hilarious. So we were like both crazy together. So we went up on the rooftop with our drinks, and I noticed as soon as we got up to the rooftop that there was this like a swarm of dudes like standing in the middle of the rooftop area. Um, and they were dancing, and I said, oh my God. I said, Uncle Steve, I said, look at that. Look how hot they are. They were like really good looking dudes, and they were tearing that dance floor rooftop up. I mean, I just like, I couldn't stop staring. So then me and him, we find a spot to sit down up there. So we sit down, and then, the waitress comes over, and she's like, well, what would you guys like to drink, and this and that. So we ordered, and then my uncle's like, well, I'm not just going to sit at this table all night. I'm going to get up and go talk and dance and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you go do that. So he gets up and he leaves, and he just like starts mingling and, dancing or whatever. That's so good. And he leaves me at the table alone. So, I was feeling myself. I was looking good, My hair was down. It was long. My hair is super long right now too, by the way. I'll show you at the end of the video. I'll take it down. It's like past my butt a little bit. Anyways, so my hair was really long and it was down, and I had my makeup all on, and I can't remember what outfit I was wearing, but hey, sometimes you feel yourself. So I was feeling myself that night. So I'm sitting there playing all like, oh, poor pitiful me. Nobody's sitting with me. I'm here alone. Somebody buy me a drink. So I'm like looking around, and all of a sudden like these two guys and this girl come walking over. And I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, okay, here it goes. And I knew because they were looking right at me and they were walking towards me. So I like play stupid. I'm like, okay, where's my phone? So I get my phone. I don't want to sit there like I'm totally like just being a loser. So I acted like, I was texting on my phone, but I wasn't doing shit. And then they come up to me, all three of them. And the girl that was there, she goes, hey, she goes, I haven't seen you in this bar before. She goes, I'm sorry, but I literally know everybody. And I was like, oh, excuse me. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, yeah, you probably haven't seen me in here because we just moved here. So she's like, oh, really? So then the two guys were just like standing there. And she goes, well, no wonder. She goes, this is my husband, so-and-so. And this is our friend / roommate. Let me tell you what people look like, okay? The girl, the wife, she was very, very pretty. She had long, dark hair, curly hair, tattoos everywhere. She was a little taller than me. Very pretty, very outgoing. She just was very sweet, it seems like. And her husband, he was a little shorter than her, but very good looking, and built and stuff like that. And their roommate, he was so hot. Oh my God. He had blue eyes, dirty blonde hair. He was tall. He was built. He had a hat, a baseball cap on, and he had like really preppy dressed, and I think Doc Martens on, and he had that cologne aroma going, and he just had that sparkle in his eye, I'm talking about. So like he's like, hey, he's like, I'm Jacob, nice to meet you. I'm just gonna say his name because, come on. But I'm not gonna say the married couple's name or the town. We're gonna keep that private. So he's like, hey, my name's Jacob, nice to meet you. And I was like, hey, I'm Kristen, nice to meet you. And I was like, holy fuck, that dude is hot. I was like, oh my God, I'm taking you home tonight, so whether you like it or not. That's what I was thinking, not kidding. I had to get more chips. So the girl goes, well, are you here alone? And like, she kind of like looks around. And I said, actually, no, I'm not here alone. I'm here with my uncle. He's off socializing somewhere. And she started laughing. She goes, oh, okay. She goes, well, I'll be right back. Do you mind if we sit with you at the table? I was like, of course not. So the two dudes sat down immediately. And she goes, well, I'll be right back. And she goes, honey, why don't you keep her entertained and talk to her? And then she told Jacob, she's like, hey, socialize. She's like, I'll be right back. Do you want anything? Do you want anything to drink? I'll bring you back a drink. I said, sure. She goes, what do you like to drink? She goes, I see you are drinking a Long Island. Do you like those? I said, yeah, they're my favorite. So she's like, okay, I got you, babe. She's like, I'll bring back a Long Island for you. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. Thank you. I offered my card and everything. She wouldn't take it. So, I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute. Is she just leaving her husband here and this dude with me? What? So we start talking. And the husband, first it was that guy, Jacob. And then next to him was the husband. Well, the husband gets up and he comes walking around and he sits next to me on this side. And they were making small talk, and I was like, both these dudes are really hot, but this one's married. Hell no, off limits. Even though I was in my crazy mode back then, I didn't want to do that. That was not my preference, to be with a married man. So I told myself immediately, I'm like, hell no, just in case anything happened. But the dude Jacob that was sitting over here, I was like, oh my God, I was smitten immediately with him. And then, so I'm like this because they're both talking to me. Like he's trying to get my attention. He's trying to get my attention. And I'm just like, So anyways, Big Daddy comes back and he comes back with that girl, the wife. And then I was like, hey, I said, that's my uncle. You found him. And then Big Daddy's like, hey, yeah, she just told me that, you guys were sitting over there and you guys just met. So they sat down and then we all just started talking and stuff. And they told us that they had a house, down the street, and they all frequent that bar very often. Like they go there like every weekend, sometimes during the week. And I was like, okay, cool. So I got kind of like a weird vibe because the husband, he was like giving me more attention than this other dude over here was. Oh my God. That time, I got in my hair. You know, Big Daddy was like, he was like, hey, get up and, let's go out to the patio area. And, because we were on top of the balcony, and let's go feel the music. And, I was like, all right. So we all got up, and then we went out to the balcony patio area. And as soon as we walk out there, this guy, Jacob, while we were talking, I figured out that he was single, because he goes, are you single? I'm like, yeah, I'm just recently divorced. He goes, oh, yikes. I was like, uh-huh. And then he told me that he was single, so we went out to the patio, and instantly this dude, he like just takes off and he starts dancing. And I'm like, what? Say what? This dude, oh my God. He danced like you would not believe. There wasn't a dance move that he didn't know or couldn't do. It was one of those kind of guys that just like, all right, let's do this. It was incredible. So he instantly just starts dancing and just like busting a move, and I'm just like, say what? And I'm like, I turn to the husband and wife, and they're like, oh yeah, he likes to show off. He's what you would call a professional dancer, and he loves to show his talent or whatever. And I was like, dang. So I was like watching him all night because it was like intriguing. I couldn't stop watching him. I'm sorry, but if you can dance, male or female, you got my attention straight up. There's nothing more sexier than someone who can dance. Like, come on now. There's not enough sour cream on here. So, long story short, that's basically how that night went. We just drank, they danced, we talked, But the husband to that married girl was like really hitting on me. Like, he would like rub my back every now and then, or, like pull me closer to whisper in my ear. And I'm like, what the fuck? I instantly got a vibe like, okay, I think I know what he's doing. So we ended up, eventually going home. And I said, I was like, thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you. You're awesome. Thank you for, showing me kindness, because we just moved here. They have lived here their whole lives, like all three of them. They were like best friends forever. Look at that bite. So we went home, and, Big Daddy was like, oh my God, that was so much fun. Those people are so nice. I said, I know. He was leaving not the next day, the next day after that. He was leaving to go back to California. So he was like, you should really go back to that bar, and go hang out with them. Now that you know them, you got friends. And I was like, I know, right? That's so awesome. I go, I don't want to go with myself though. That's like, I don't know. I just can't go places by myself. I don't know what it is. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't like doing it. It's like going out to eat by yourself or going to a movie by yourself. It feels awkward to me. So he's like, don't sit in this house and dwell on your divorce, and don't do that. Just get out, and go have a social life. And you got 3 friends there now. I was like, yeah, you're right. So, the very next day, my uncle was packing, getting ready to go. And then he's like, yeah, well, my flight's, early in the morning. Otherwise, I'd go back to that bar with you and we'd go hang out. I said, I know, it was so much fun. So anyway, he ended up leaving, and then he talked me into, and I got the courage to go back to that bar by myself. Like, oh my God. And I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to walk in, I'm going to have one drink. And if I don't see them, excuse me, or, I do see them and they don't talk to me, I said, I'm out of here. It's just really uncomfortable for me. So I went there, oh my God, by myself, which I never do. So then I walk in and, oh, here's my chip. I sit down and I immediately see all three of them. I tore this side up already. So Jacob, the dancer, comes walking over to me. I was like, oh, thank God. And he's like, hey, I was hoping I'd see you back in here. I said, yeah, I mean, my uncle left, and he really encouraged me to come back here, and I really didn't want to because I don't like going places by myself. But he's like, well, you're not by yourself, are you? And he sat down, and I was like, ooh, I was like, oh shit. I was like, no, yeah, you're right, I'm not. So then, started talking. He bought me, some drinks. And I was like, your dancing is incredible, like really incredible. He goes, oh yeah, well, thank you so much. He's like, I've been dancing since I was a kid. He's like, it's always been a passion of mine. So then, blah, blah, blah. And then here come the married couple. They come walking over. They're like, oh my God, hey, so good to see that you came back here. And I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So then the girl, she sat like right next to me, and like, she goes, you're so beautiful. Like, look at your hair. And like, she was like playing with my hair, she's like, you're such a doll, babe. Like, that's how she talked, I said, oh, thank you. Stop. And then the husband sat on this side again of me. And he goes, yeah, you're a really beautiful girl. And I was like, thanks. But I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So she's like, hey, she grabs my leg and she like got like really right in my face. And she goes, we're having an after party after the bar closes tonight at our house. Do you want to come over and join us? And then her husband grabbed my leg also. And he was like, yeah, please come. I was like, oh, and I kind of like moved away from him because he's married. His wife was right there. It was a really uncomfortable situation. I was like, oh, and I went like that, and I kind of like moved. And then he moved his hand, and I was like, I hope his wife didn't see that. What the fuck? Then Jacob was like, we're not taking no for an answer. You're coming. I know, because they all three lived together. It was their house. I was like, well, I got kids at home. I mean, I just can't take off and do that. And the girl, she was like, do you have a babysitter, or are they home alone? Are they young? Are they older? Like, what's their ages? And I said, no, my parents are there. I would have to call my mom, and let her know what I'm doing if I'm to do that. But I said, how late of a party are we talking about? And then like they all three started laughing. Jacob, He goes, girl, the party never ends at our house. Literally, we have a party there 24/7, 365. I was like, for real? And he said, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, maybe I can come over because all three of them were like, really like, come on, please, come on. And I was like, all right, maybe I can come for a little bit type of thing. But then as soon as the drinks start flowing, order another round over here, more shots, more this, more that. And by that time, you're like, where the after party at? I'm about to stay all night, shit. Because, your judgment, it goes right out the window when you get drunk. So, we stayed there. We stayed there till, I think it was 2:30. I think it was 2:30. Oh my God, I have to burp, sorry. 2:30, that bar closed. So we left there. And then I called my mom. Way before then, I called her and I said, hey, Mom, I'm with these people again. They're so nice. And they literally live down the street. And I'm just going to go to their after house party just for a little bit. I'm making some friends. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. She goes, okay, yeah, no problem. The kids are sleeping. Don't worry about it. So I went with them. Okay. Let me tell you, oh my God. I drove my own car. Jacob told me to leave my car at the bar. It was a big parking lot. He said, we do it all the time. Just leave leave your car in the parking lot, and then you can come get it later. Oh, you can come get it the next day, But we have a designated driver. He's a really cool friend of ours. He doesn't drink. He always comes in and drives us home. I'm like, okay. So we all got in the car with him. It was like a big Jeep or something. So we pulled up to their house. And when we pulled up, there was probably about 11 or 12 cars parked in their driveway, on their lawn, in front of their house, on their side of the house, just everywhere. And as soon as you pull up, you can hear the dum, 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 dum. Like the music was just like pumping, and people were standing outside. And I was like, oh my God, this is a house party. Oh. I'm getting so full already. Oh my God. So they were like, don't worry. Everybody that's in the house right now, we know everybody, of course. This is our house. Feel comfortable. Our house is your house. That's the kind of people we are. We love everybody. You want a beer, you want a cocktail, you go in the kitchen, you help yourself. You're hungry, you go in the fridge, you help yourself. Mi casa, su casa. That's the kind of people they were. And I was like, oh my God, you guys are just so cool. Like, this is so awesome. I was like, thank you. Okay, great. So the husband and wife take off, and, Jacob's walking with me. And he goes, yeah, let me introduce you to a bunch of people. So we started going from room to room. This was a tri-level house. It was a big, nice, beautiful home. And I guess that's why they were roommates, to help with the rent or something. Because it was really nice. Had a pool in the backyard, and 3 stories. It was really, really nice. So he starts, one room, they're playing beer pong. The next room, they're playing strip poker. The next room, they're playing drunken twister. The next room was like a dance room. It had music going and people were dancing. It was crazy. It looked like a freaking club, but it was these people's house. And then outside, they had a fire pit. They had a pool. They had a bar out there. It was like, why the hell do you guys even leave your house? This is what I'm thinking. I'm looking at this house like, why do you go to bars? Like, hello, this is better than a bar. I would never leave my house if my house looked like this. Shit. I'm out of breath talking. Well, I gotta speed this up. I eventually, like, sort of meet everybody. There was a lot of people there. I couldn't meet everybody, but the important ones I met. Very nice. So many hot guys. You can't. Oh my god. So, I have a lot of pretty girls. The wife, she comes up to me and she puts her arm around me and she's like, I hope Jacob showed you around and gave you a little tour, and you met a few people and you feel more comfortable. I said, yes, thank you. And she goes, I got you, babe. And she kissed me on the cheek. And she goes, oh, I'm going to make us some shots. Do you want one? And like the music was blaring so loud, like you have to like really get close to somebody to hear even what they're saying. I was like, what? She goes, I'm going to make us some cocktails, like some shots. Do you want some? I was like, hell yes, thank you. I said, I feel like I should owe you something, like some money or something, or maybe I should pay for a beer run because I feel weird. I haven't paid for shit. She's like, no, we're all family here, So she's in the kitchen and she's like, she turns her back to me and she's making these shots, and these cocktails. And then her husband walks in. Jacob's off like dancing somewhere. I don't know. And then her husband walks in and I'm standing there and he comes up right up to me, like right next to me, and he goes, so you having a good time? And like really like sensual, like, so you having a good time? Like that. And I was like, yeah, I am. And I kind of scooted over because he was married and his wife was right there. So no. And so he's like, all right. He says, cool. He goes, oh, I just want to let you know that, if you drink too much or you're too tired or something, you're welcome to stay the night. And I was like, oh, I kind of just like, and I looked immediately at the wife. I'm like, shouldn't the wife be telling me this, not you? And she turns around and she like, she made our drinks and she goes, oh, here you go. She obviously heard what her husband was saying to me. She said, yeah. She said, if you want to stay the night, you're more than welcome. We have plenty of room. In fact, we would want you to stay the night rather than, drive home drinking or go home too late. And I'm thinking in my head, there's no way in hell I'm staying the night. First of all, I don't even know these people. I just met them. I'm not staying the night here after drinking. Are you crazy? So I was like, oh, that's a very sweet offer. I really appreciate that. That really is sweet. But I think I'll just go home. My mom already said that she'd come get me, and we'll get my car tomorrow. So she's like, okay, well, the offer stands. You can change your mind anytime. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And she walks off again. She was very sweet, but she wasn't very like, I don't know. She was just like a really good entertainer, I guess, of our household. Like a really good hostess. She was just going from person to person, But I was just kind of like, hello, you know all these people. I don't know anybody. Quit leaving me. The husband sure didn't. Oh my God. So the husband's standing there and she walks off. And then he goes, hey, it's, tell your mom that she doesn't have to come get you. We have very comfortable couches. And me and my wife have a king size bed. You can sleep in the room with us. And I like almost spit my drink out, like, because I was drinking the cocktail that she made me. And I was like this. I'm not kidding. That's what I did. And I said, what did you say? I said, did you just say I could sleep with you and your wife? No, I'm not kidding. And then, like, I wasn't doing that to be funny. I literally, like, choked because he said that. And then he goes, no, it's not. What's so funny? He goes, yeah, you can literally sleep with me and my wife. And I was like, oh, that's a good one. I said, you're funny. I said, can I take the middle too? Yeah, I thought he was joking. He looked at me very serious and he goes, I was hoping you would say you want to sleep in the middle. And that's when I like put my drink down and I'm like, oh. And then he puts his hand on the small of my back and he starts rubbing it. And then he puts, slowly goes down and he grabs my butt, right? And I pull away and I'm like, hey, like that. And then he goes, you're staying the night. And he walks off. And he gives me like that, very sexual look. And I'm like, okay, this bitch is going to kill me because she's going to think that I'm flirting with her husband. Or, she saw him do that. She's going to come kill me. Or that's it. She's going to tell everybody at the party that I'm this slut that came to the party and I'm hitting on her husband. And they're all going to take me to the basement and like beat the fuck out of me. This is what I was thinking. Excuse me. I'm getting full. So I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Like, her husband now he's really hitting on me. So then I'm just standing there in the kitchen by myself and I couldn't even move. I didn't know what to do. I was kind of panicking because I knew what kind of situation I was in. Like, the husband is really coming on to me and we're at their house and the wife is just like not really knowing about it, I don't think. Oh my God. I'm standing in the kitchen by myself at that point for at least maybe 15 minutes. And I didn't know where to go. I didn't want to go to a next room, It was just like, what? I don't know anybody. So I was contemplating on leaving at that point. I'm like, that's it. I'm leaving. I'm just leaving. This is not right. This is really not right. So Jacob here, because I was like, where the hell's Jacob? Like, hello. So then here he comes. And then he goes, hey, sorry, I was off talking with some, dude I haven't seen in a long time. It just showed up here. And I was like, oh. And he goes, I'm sorry, I won't leave you again. He goes, come on, let's go outside. I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, take me. So we go outside and then, like, we sit by the pool and the fire pit and we're just drinking. And then he goes, so, like, everybody's making small talk, and then he goes, so are you going to stay the night? And I said, oh, no, I'm not staying the night. Especially after, the husband was like, no. And he goes, no, come on, seriously. He goes, there's so much room here, it's just us three and it's a big ass house, which it was. And I'm like, no, I'm not staying the night. Like, I was starting to get angry. I'm going home, but I appreciate it. He goes, okay, all right. So then they kept bringing me drinks after drinks after drinks. And of course, what happens? You get drunk. I was thinking, why is the husband hitting on me and not this dude? What the hell? So, after I got really drunk, I text my mom. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay here, Mom. They have a big couch, you know. They're so cool and blah blah blah. And I'm, you know, a little tipsy, and I just don't. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I don't want you to come out this late and come get me. She's like, "Are you sure? You know, I don't mind. I'll come get you right now." I'm like, "No, Mom, I'll stay the night." So then, after like all the shots and Long Islands they were bringing me, I'm finally like, "Hell yeah, I'll stay the night." Then the husband comes back over to me. He's like, "So you're gonna stay the night now, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I really am getting a little, you know, a little tipsy, drunk. So I think I should stay the night." And then Jacob comes walking over because he like took off to go get a drink or something, and he came back over and he goes, "Yeah, she's gonna either, you know, sleep on the couch, or there's plenty of room in my room." And then at this point I was like, whatever, I don't care. You know, because that's what alcohol does. And then the husband's like, "Oh no, she's sleeping in our room." And then he leans over me to look at Jacob, and he like gives him this look like, you know, shut the fuck up. And I was like, whoa, what? And then the wife comes over, and then like she sits down, she goes, "Yay, you're staying the night." And I started busting up laughing, and I said, "Your husband keeps telling me that I'm gonna sleep in the middle with you guys." And I busted up laughing again. I was like snorting at this point because, you know, I was drunk, and it was hilarious, and it was just so awkward and weird. And the girl's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." And I said, "Wait, what?" And she goes, "Yeah, you could sleep in the middle. That's no problem." And I was like, "Wait a minute. What is going on here?" So then Jacob, like I said, I looked at him and I said, "Are they being serious?" And then Jacob's like, "Oh, I want to go get a drink. I don't know. It's up to you." And he gets up. And then the wife gets up, and it's just the husband there. And then he leans over. I wasn't like out of my mind drunk, but I was getting drunk. You know, I could still walk and talk and stuff, but it was like, whoa. And he leans over to me and he whispers in my ear, and he goes, "By the end of the night, I'm going to have you one way or another." And then he whispered that in my ear, and he gets up and he winks at me, and he walks off. I was like, okay, first of all, you're married. If you weren't married, then hell yes. But you're married. It's not happening. I was like, he's crazy as hell. I was talking to myself. Okay. The end of the night comes, and everybody leaves. Some people stay the night. I wasn't the only one. But the majority of the people leave. And Jacob like disappeared. Like he didn't even say anything to me. Like he just, I guess he went to his bedroom. His bedroom was like in the basement. I don't know. It was so weird. He was showing interest in me and like, you know, giving me those looks and like smiles and looking up and down. I could tell he was interested in me, but he wasn't making a move. It was very strange. But the married dude was like all over me. And then when it came time to stop and like, let's go to bed, both the wife and the husband come up to me. I was in the kitchen. The wife's like, "Come on, let's go to bed. I'm so tired, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I'll just take the couch. Like, I'm good with the couch. I sleep good on couches, you know, because I was drunk." I'm like, "No, I got the couch. I'm good with the couch." And she goes, "No, you're going to sleep with us." And the husband's like, "Yeah, you're sleeping in the middle, remember?" Oh my God. She takes me by the hand and she leads me into the bedroom. I was like, whoa, okay. What the hell? So then she goes, "It's okay, lay down." So then they lay down, I lay down. I wasn't in the middle though. I was on the right side She was in the middle and he was on the left. And we're just laying there, and all of a sudden, like, the husband and wife, they start making out. And I'm over here and I'm like, oh my God, what the? Like, I was like looking up. It was dark in the room. I was like looking up, but the room was spinning a little bit. Not too bad. And I'm like, what the hell? They're not really doing this right now with me in the bed. And then all of a sudden, they start taking their clothes off. It was dark in the room, but you could still see, you know what I'm talking about? So then the wife gets on top of the husband and she starts doing her thing. And I'm literally like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Do I leave? Like, did they forget I was here? Because maybe they're that drunk? And then all of a sudden, the girl goes, take off your clothes. She looks at me and says that. I said, what? And she goes, come on, we're just going to have a little fun. She goes, get naked. And then the husband's like, yeah, see, I told you I was going to have you before the end of the night. He said that right in front of his wife, just out loud like that. And then she's doing her thing on top of him. And I'm just like, holy shit. I'm like, okay. So I start taking my glove, right? I'm drunk, you guys. Okay, come on. And I wasn't there. Mentally, I was not there because of the situation I was going through with that divorce I had and everything. And I didn't care about anything. I did not give a fuck about anything. So I'm like, okay. So I just start taking my clothes off. And then I literally threw them. And I heard them fall on the floor. So I'm laying there, naked now. And they're doing their thing. Then all of a sudden, I'm like laying there and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Do I join in or do I wait for an invite? I'm just going to lay here. I'm going to pretend like I'm a little hot dog wiener. Just laying here. Then all of a sudden, they're already having sex. And I hear the door open. And then I see light come in the room. And I hear this kid crying. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then she jumps off of her husband. She throws a robe on. And it was a little kid that walked in crying. And she goes, come on, honey, come on. And she like grabs him and she leads him out and she shuts the door. And I sat up in the bed and I was like, what the fuck? Was that a little kid? And he goes, oh yeah, don't mind that. It was just our son. I was like, what? I said, I didn't know you guys had kids. I can't eat anymore, you guys. He goes, yeah, we have 4 sons, but they're on the other side of the house, you know. We didn't introduce you to them yet. I'm like, wait a minute. You guys were just having sex and your son comes in here. He was probably like maybe 2. So he didn't see what was going on or you hear that, you know what I mean? But the fact that he walked in that very moment, I'm like, that's it. So I start like looking for my clothes at this point. Totally ruined it for me. And then he was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm looking for my clothes. I'm getting out of here. And then he goes, no. He's like, no, chill, just relax. He'll go back to sleep. He always does this. I said, I don't care. It's just your kid, man. I'm sure I was like drunk, you know. I'm like, I want out of here. I want to go home. So then, you know, he starts grabbing my boobs, right? And I'm like, what are you doing? And then the wife walks in. And she sees that he's grabbing my boobs. And then she goes, oh, okay, I see, motherfucker. Are you starting without me? And he goes, no, I was waiting for you. And she goes, fuck you. I saw what you were doing. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like rolling over. I rolled off the bed and I'm on my hands and knees naked looking for my clothes. And they start arguing over the situation. So the first thing I find, I just put it on. And then they were still arguing and I grabbed, because they had given me a pillow, and I grabbed a pillow and I'm like, I'm just going to go sleep on the couch. I'm totally good with the couch. So I just went out the door and they were still arguing. And I shut the door behind me and I went on the couch. And I come to find out what I had on was his t-shirt. Like, was one of the husband's t-shirts. So it was kind of big on me and it was halfway up my legs. So that's all I had on. And that pillow. I didn't even have a blanket. So I laid on the couch. And I started like, I rolled over on my side and I like pushed my shirt down and I was like getting ready to just, I'm like, I'm going to sleep. I'm done with this. Then I eventually fall asleep. Then the next thing I know is I feel somebody shaking me, like my legs, my arms, and then I feel like someone trying to pull me to sit up. And I hear, Kristen, get up, get up. So I'm like, what? So I'm sitting up and I look and it's the husband. And he goes, come on, come here, come with me. I'm like, what do you mean? Where are we going? I said, where's your wife? Because subconsciously, it was still so in my mind that, I was worried about that. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, come on. So I like get up and I go, dude, what's going on? And he goes, come to the bathroom with me. So we go into the bathroom. And he shuts the door. The bathroom was right next to their bedroom. I mean, like right next to their bedroom. And he goes, my wife's sleeping there. And I told her, we're not fighting anymore. And I told her that, I'm sorry, I apologize. And, this is the kind of thing that we want to do. And he goes, you were cool with it at first, but our son came in and ruined it, right? I said, where's your wife? I said, she's sleeping right now? Why aren't you sleeping with her? I said, what? He goes, no. He goes, she knows this is going to happen. I told her it was, and she's okay with it. I'm like, what are you talking about? It was like sex. He's like, let's have sex. I said, what? I was like, no, this is wrong. I said, I need to know your wife's okay with this. This is not okay. He goes, I promise you, she just told me to come in here and do this. It was her idea. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So there was like some over-the-counter business with the cheek in the mirror kind of situation going on. Then after that, because the whole time I was thinking they're swingers. They're swing 100% swingers. Because she wanted it just as much as he did. But then when she had to go get the kid, that's when she got mad because I don't know. It's kind of weird. In that kind of situation, it's either like they have rules or they don't. It's like, what the hell? So after that, after we were done, he comes up behind me and whispers it back in my ear as if we were standing in front of a crowd full of people. It was just me and him. And he goes, see, I told you I'd have you. So he whispered in my ear. And then he walks out and he goes to his room and shuts the door. And I walk out of the bathroom and I lay on the couch. And I'm just like, I'm laying there and I'm like, what the hell? Where is the wife at? Why don't I hear her? If this is, their thing, where was she? Like, did that just happen? Did that just happen? And so I was like tripping on it for a minute, but then I fell back asleep. I'm sorry, you guys, I can't eat anymore. Look how much of this I ate. And, yeah, I ate all that. So I go back to sleep. Okay. It doesn't end there. Oh my God. I'm back asleep at this point, and then the next thing that happens is someone's nudging my shoulder and my arm and like shaking me. Kristen, get up. Kristen, come here. I'm like, oh my God, is he back again for round 2? What the fuck? So I open my eyes and I look up and it's Jacob. And he's like, hey, you don't have to sleep on the couch. Come to my room. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I've been wanting to be with him all night and not this married dude or this married couple. So then when I saw him, I was kind of like, oh, thank God. So I just got up. I was like, yes, I would love to come sleep in your room. Like, I don't want to be out in the open. So he takes my hand and he goes, oh, you're wearing so-and-so's shirt. I said, oh, yeah, I couldn't find my clothes. I said, oh. And then I realized, oh, shit. So I was like, yeah, I couldn't find my clothes. I was trying to find some pajamas. Like, I didn't know what to say. And he's like, oh, it's cool. So then we go to his room. And then oh my God, you guys. I can't even believe I'm telling you guys this. I can't believe I'm telling you guys. But this is what happened. Okay, so then he lays me on the bed. He's like, do you want me to take the floor? It's whatever you're comfortable with. I'll sleep on the floor. You can sleep on the bed. I said, no, I want you to sleep in the bed with me. I was like feeling like vulnerable and like upset at this moment. You know what I mean? So he's like, okay. So we got in the bed. And then my husband, this is kind of an awkward story to tell right now. But so you guys, oh my God. He starts going down south. Okay? What the fuck? Yeah, you just heard me. After the bathroom situation, he goes south of the border. And I instantly stop him. And I said, hey, you don't want to do that. I said, this just happened and that's why I'm wearing this shirt. I told him everything. I was panicking. And then he goes, no, I already know. It's cool. He's like, just relax. And he pushes me back down because I sat up in the bed. Pushes me back down. And he continues to go south of the border. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, hey. Like, for some reason, oh my God. That really turned me on. So I was like, you know? What do you mean? How do you know that happened? He goes, relax. He's like, it's okay. I'm like, that is so fucking disgusting. Like, what the hell? I just told this dude I just did this with him. And then he does that with me. Like, within a couple hours. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's disgusting even saying this. But so then I told you guys, this is the most humiliating, outrageous story. So then it's like daylight by this time, okay? And he is going to town. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I would fucking throw up. But it was turning me on. Like, oh my God. So, and it was daylight at this time. So then all of a sudden we hear this, but it was loud and like a banging. And I go, holy fuck, like that. And I sat up. Like, I pushed my leg back and I sat up. And he goes, yeah? And it was the husband. And he goes, I know what you're doing in there. He goes, what the fuck are you doing in there? And then Jacob goes, dude, man, chill. He goes, we're trying to go to sleep. And I was like, oh my God. And then by then, like, my buzz had worn off. I mean, my drunkenness had worn off. And he was like, dude, open the door, stop doing what the fuck you're doing. I know what you're doing there. Open the door. And she's supposed to be sleeping on the couch. And I was like, oh my God. I just froze. I didn't say shit. And he's like, we'll be out in a minute, He's like, dude, just fuck it, fucking leave us alone for a second. So then he finally walks off. And I'm like, oh my God. And then he, like, starts to wants to have sex with me, and I'm like, no. I push him off. I said, no, this is too much for me. You don't understand what just happened. I have to get out of here. And so he was like begging to have sex with me, and I'm not. So no, I'm not doing it. I'm not. This is. I snapped out of it real quick. I was like, what am I doing? So I said, can you please go get my clothes out of his room? And just please. So, he was all disappointed. He's like, all right, whatever. But he was a really nice guy. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. So he gets up and he goes and gets my clothes, brings them to me. I put them on. And then he goes, I'm going to give you a ride to your house. And I said, okay. It was like 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, something like that. And I was like, thank you. I don't have to, have my mom do it. So I get dressed and I'm like, we walk upstairs and I'm like, oh my God. I don't know if she knows that happened with her husband. I don't know, like what is going on here. So I'm like looking around and I'm like, I want to get the fuck out of this house. Oh my God. So we didn't see anybody and we left. And on the ride home, I said to him, I said, so did I hear you correctly? Did you say you knew I had sex with so-and-so? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I know. I said, how did you know that? And he goes, we'll talk about it later. And I said, and you still did that knowing I did that? I said, what kind of a person are you? And then it's like, hello? What kind of a person am I? I'm the one that allowed all that shit. And then he, I just got out. And I was like, thank you for the ride. And he's like, yeah. He goes, I'll text you later. And I was like, all right. So we got out. And I went into the house. And like my mom was like just getting up. And she goes, hey, how'd you get home? I was just gonna call you and come get you. I was like, oh. I was like, I couldn't even look at my mom in the face. Like, because of what just happened. It was like, what the fuck? I said, oh, Mom, I'm so tired. I haven't really slept yet. I'm gonna go to bed. I love you. Good night. So like, I went in the room and I was just like, I laid on the bed and I was like, what the hell just happened? That was some Jerry Springer shit. Like, what the fuck? Was that a dream? Please tell me that was a dream. Then, oh my God, sorry I'm not eating anymore. I got so full. Okay, then later on that day, I eventually, I fell back asleep. I was so tired. And like a few hours later, I woke up. And then on my phone, because at that house party, I had given all three of them my phone number. When I woke up and checked my phone, I had like 10 messages. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking at my phone. So I braced myself and then I opened the message. And it was a long message. And I'm like, oh my God. Basically, the message was, how dare you? I opened my home to you. I thought we could be friends, but apparently not. My husband immediately told me what happened in the bathroom as soon as you left. And, that's not cool. I won't be having you over again. And I hope you have a nice life, but please don't contact me again. It was something along those lines. Of course, I can't remember it all. And then I was like, what? What? I was like, oh my God. So then I opened up the other messages from the husband and he's like apologizing. I'm so sorry. I had to come clean and tell my wife. And I'm like, you literally told me that this is okay and this is what she wanted and you guys both wanted it in the bedroom, and then once we did it in the bathroom, now it's not okay. I said, what the hell's going on here? What do you mean you confessed to your wife? You guys literally just tried this in the bed with me before I left there. Oh my God. I didn't know what to say to her. I didn't respond to her first. I responded to the husband. I said, what the fuck is going on? I said, what do you mean you came clean to your wife, And I was so upset. And he's like, yeah, she's really pissed off. I said, what? And then oh my God, I can't even talk. This story is so fucked up. So then Jacob, he had texted me, hey, are you okay? Do you have a hangover? Like, what are you doing? Are you up yet? He was just making small talk. So then I call him and he answers the phone and I said, I'm like on the verge of crying and I'm telling him what happened and what the text messages and all that said. I was like, calm down. He's like, calm down. I said, where are you in the house? I said, the husband said it was okay and the wife wanted it, and then I do it, and now the wife won't talk to me and I did something so horribly wrong. I said, what the hell is going on here? And then you said you knew about it. Don't want to know what the fuck is really going on here. He's like, well, why don't we meet, for lunch, and I need to talk to you about some things. What the fuck? Fine. I get in my car. I was so hungry anyway because I was drinking all night. And, after you drink all night, you're so thirsty. I am hungry. So I met him for lunch. And I was like, what is going on here? I said, I want to know the truth, and I want to know the truth right now. I said, actually, I was like really into you. I was really starting to catch some feelings for you. I was like really into you, and you're single, and you were giving me the vibe that you felt the same way, but you kind of just threw me off to them, and then after they were done with me, you came to get me. I said, what the hell? And he's like, he's like, you have no idea how bad I wanted to be with you and how bad I wanted to take you and talk to you and be with you. He said, but the husband, he said his name, the husband told me to back off. He said immediately the first night we met you at the bar, he told me to back off. And he said that I was not supposed to do anything with you until he said it was okay. Wait a minute. What the hell did you just say? Can you repeat that, please? And he goes, no, I'm not kidding. And I said, what? I said, so you didn't pursue me or hang out with me all night because he told you not to? He said, yeah. He said he wanted you first. That's when I got really pissed off, and I'm like, the fuck you invite me for lunch here and tell me this shit? You could have told me over the phone. And why the hell wouldn't you guys tell me this before I even went to this fucking psychopath Jerry Springer shit party? Are you kidding me right now? I said, so what? Is this like your guys' thing? Like, this is what you do? You bring bitches back and you just, merry-go, swing them around here and there and then like that? Like, what the hell? And he goes, yeah, I would love to date you and actually be, your boyfriend, but oh my God, excuse me, I'm so full. He said, we're a swingers club household. He said that's just what we do. And yeah, it didn't work out according to their plan with you, so I had the green light to be with you next. And I tried, but you wouldn't let me, and I respect that. I'm sitting here listening to this guy talk to me like this. And then he goes, oh, and the reason why the wife got, he said her name, but the reason why the wife got so pissed off is because they have one rule and one rule only, and that is that they don't touch without both of them present. Touching is off limits unless they're both involved at the same time. So since the husband broke the rule, because when she walked out of the room, he started filling me up and stuff, that's when the wife got really pissed off and said, you broke the rule, we don't do that, and you did it. Then of course the bathroom thing. That is why the wife got so pissed off. She didn't care that it happened. She cared that she wasn't involved as well. She wasn't involved too, so that's why she got mad. I wasn't saying anything to this guy. I was just listening to him, because I was in shock. I'm just like, he said, yeah. He said if she was in the bathroom with him, she would have you over again right this very second and be your best friend, and that's just how they roll. But he went after you without her, and that's what started that big fight between them, and that's why she wants nothing to do with you now. And I said, so now I'm just, what, leftovers for you? Like, you know, he goes, yeah, it's messed up, but that's how we are. Okay, so let's just say that, you know, Jacob and I, if I didn't stop him, we would have had sex. And I said to him, so would you just call me over the next day and then I'd go from your room to their room or their room to your room, back and forth? He goes, whatever you want. He goes, it's always a green light at our house. And that's when I was like, oh my God. I said, you know what? I'm taking this to go. I ate like half of it. I didn't even think I ate half of it. I ate like 5 bites of it. I don't even remember what it was. But I said, can I have a check, please? And he's like, why are you getting so upset? Why are you so upset? I said, are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you listening to yourself? I said, I feel so used and disgusted and just, I don't even want to look at you right now. I said, you guys could have came clean with that. If that's how you want to roll, that's your business, that's cool. But you don't involve somebody without letting them know that that's what's going on. And if they're okay with it, then great. You guys have a party. But you just don't do that. And don't tell someone and just see how it rolls and plays out. That's not how it works. I said, wow. I said, so let me guess. Those girls that were dancing with you, because that first night that I met him, there was like 2 girls that were really on him all night. And he was like pushing them off to come talk to me, like, you know, the whole time. But I said, so those 2 girls, I said, I bet all 3 of you already had both of them, huh? He goes, yeah, we did. Oh my God, you guys. I don't even know what to call this story time. It's like the house party from hell. I don't know. And it's so upsetting because these people were so nice and so just, I don't get it. But they were just freaks. They were freaks. Straight up freaks. But anyways, oh my God, this is a 2-hour video. This has gone on way too long. Yeah, so that's the story time of my crazy house party freak show. I'm so full, I cannot eat another bite. Oh my God, help me, Jesus. Anyway, I'm probably going to get attacked in the comments like, oh my God, what a whore, what a slut, what a... Whatever. I was out of my mind. It was after my divorce, and that, you know, shit happens. So, that's just another crazy story time of mine I have for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you didn't, thumbs it down. I mean, hey, that's just how YouTube works. But I hope you enjoyed this loaded nacho feast and this story time. It's so fucking crazy, man. My mom's gonna be like, I can't believe you told that story. Hey, I'm here to tell my life, so whatever. Shit happens, guys. Just be smart. Like I always say, do as I say, not as I do, right? Anyways, I love you guys. I missed you so much. I will try and upload very, very soon again. Stay safe, blessed wherever you're at in the world. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I'm probably going to lose all my subscribers after that. Story time. I got more of those too. Not like that, but juicy ones. Oh my God. You know, I'm going to shut up. Look at my